teach the Bible in plain sight according to the scriptures. I'll be your teacher today. My name is Brother Joseph. My reader today will be Brother Cephas. And the title of today's class is Different Levels of Hell. And this hell is, according to many different doctrines in the world, is being thrown around. You know, you have people, if you good and you die, you get thrown in, you get put in heaven, but if you bad, you get put in hell. You know, making this some type of place that you go right now, but don't realize this hell that they are talking about, which would be the lake of fire, that's something down the line at the end, not something that you can put somebody in today. But what they don't understand is that where you go, when the Lord said, dust you came from and dust you're going to go back, that's also considered a hell, which is the grave. So we're going to deal with different types of hell, and we're going to start with, at Revelation chapter 12, where it all began at. Revelation 12, and we're going to pick this up at verse 7. So the title of the class, Different Levels of Hell. Revelation 12, and pick this up at verse 7. And when you get it, my brother, go ahead.
And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
Right, and this dragon we talking about, which is Satan. And in the beginning, his name, he was called Lucifer. But we talking about this dragon, which is Satan. Go ahead, my brother.
And prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven.
Jump down to verse 12. Because there was no place in heaven found for him. So him and Michael, the archangel, and his angels, Michael and his angels was fighting against Satan and his angels, which is, well, the dragon and his angels, which is, which is his name is Satan.
I'm going to read verse 9.
Go ahead in verse 9.
And the great dragon was cast out. That old serpent. Called the devil. And Satan.
Satan got plenty of names. Go ahead, my brother.
Was deceiveth the whole world.
He deceived the whole world. Go ahead.
He was cast out into the earth.
He was cast out to this earth right here. And we're going to see that this earth is also, because, this earth, is double tap to that which is, because this earth is also considered a heaven, but since Satan was cast down to this earth, now this earth is considered to be a hell. And we're going to back that up with scripture. Go ahead, my brother. He was cast down to earth. Go ahead.
And his angels were cast out with him.
Verse 12.
Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea.
Go ahead.
For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
And he only have a short time, brothers and sisters. But right now, Satan is cast down to this earth, causing hell. But let's go to 2 Peter chapter 2. And we're gonna look at this. We're gonna look at this earth. Because it said that Satan was cast down to this earth. And let's go to 2 Peter and let's see what Peter is going to call this earth. 2 Peter chapter 2, and we're going to pick this up at verse 1. Go ahead, my brother, and we're going to skip.
But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you.
Go ahead.
Who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that brought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction.
Right, and I had to go here because you have these false teachers out here giving you false doctrine, putting you pretty much in spiritual bondage. You walking around here blind and don't know why you in these conditions. Don't know why every time you turn around it's just hell all around you because of this false teaching. Now jump down to verse 4. Now go ahead, my brother.
For if God spared not the angels that sinned,
talking about when we was in Revelation chapter 12. It said, for if God spared not the angels that had sinned, talking about Satan and his crew, go ahead.
But cast them down to hell.
Cast them down to hell. We just read in Revelation 12 that he said he was cast down to this earth. But now it is saying that he was cast down to hell. Because once Satan came down here, it's been pure hell ever since. All the way from where he was talking with Eve. It's been hell ever since. Cain killed his brother Abel. and it's been rocky. Keep going.
But cast them down to hell
Go
and
ahead.
delivered them into chains of darkness.
Oh, that's why you can't see them, brothers and sisters, because they under the chains of darkness, but they around here causing havoc. And he got ministers also, brothers and sisters, walking around here looking like they preachers of God, but yet you can tell by their fruit that they liars, just like their father, which is the devil. Liars, deceiving the people. Like we read in verse 1 where it says, but there were false prophets among the people, even there shall be false teachers, deceiving you, giving you nothing but hell. And you don't even know why you in these conditions. So it says, for if God spared not the angels that sinned, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into the chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment, brothers and sisters. Like we read in Revelation 12, they only got a short time. Verse 5, my brother.
And spared not the old world,
Uh-huh.
but saved Noah, the eighth person,
That's right.
a preacher of righteousness.
A preacher of righteousness. Even back then when Noah was out there giving the word, the people was ignoring him. Doing them, partying up and down. But Noah, it says, was a preacher. But when that flood came, it saved him and his household. But it's the same thing that we doing today. We coming out preaching the word, being the watchman, warning the people, teaching the people. But this time, it's not going to be by water. It's going to be by fire. Keep going, brother.
Bring the flood upon the world of the ungodly.
Of the ungodly. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 5. So we looked at this earth right now being hell because Satan is running loose around here, causing havoc. And you can't see him because he's under the chains of darkness. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 5. Different levels of hell, brothers and sisters. And we're looking at this earth right now as being hell. Isaiah 5, and pick this up at verse 13. When you get it, my brother, go ahead.
Therefore my people are gone into captivity
Uh-huh.
because they have no knowledge.
Oh, because they have no knowledge. Because the pastors that's supposed to be out here warning and teaching the people, they're not doing that. So it says, therefore my people are going into captivity because they have no knowledge. Go ahead, brother.
And their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst.
Go ahead.
Therefore hell hath enlarged herself.
Oh, therefore hell have enlarged herself. They don't even know why they in these conditions. Why we the boys being shot down in the streets. And even when you take them to Deuteronomy 28, and the Lord told them on the flip side, yeah, I will bless you if you keep my word, but if you don't hearken it to me, you're going to get put in these conditions. You're not going to have nothing. Not even anything for your kids. Your children, which is supposed to be the fruit of you, they not even going to prosper. But it says here, therefore, hell have enlarged herself. Go ahead, brother.
And opened her mouth without measure.
Without measure. And you wonder why are you in these conditions? That's hell, brothers and sisters. Waking up, going to work, that's hell. For chump change, that's hell. You work 5 days throughout the week to get a check that's like $300 and some. But yet your boss is probably making about $3,000 off you, but only giving you like $3 and change. That's hell. And you just barely making it. And now on top of that, you got kids. That's hell, brothers and sisters, because you can't provide for them and give them the things that you want to. So therefore, for this lack of knowledge, therefore hell have enlarged herself and opened her mouth without measure. Go ahead.
And their glory, and their multitude, and their pomp, and he that rejoiceth shall descend into it.
That's right. Let's go to Hosea chapter 4. Hosea 4. And this is hell, brothers and sisters, not knowing who you are. You've been told you are African American. and then come to realize that you a Hebrew Israelite according to the book that you got other black folks telling you just because somebody wrote it, so that can't be about you. But yet this book is black from Genesis all the way to Revelation. Go ahead, brother. Hosea chapter 4 and verse 6.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Oh, that's why hell have enlarged herself, brothers and sisters. You don't know why you in these conditions. Go ahead.
Because thou hast rejected knowledge.
Oh, you reject knowledge. You got brothers like us coming to you telling you need to keep the Sabbath. You need to stay away from these folly days, Christmas and Thanksgiving, all that nonsense. You need to take upon, which is in Leviticus 23, the Lord's feast days. Stay away from that pork. You wondering why you got all these diseases, high cholesterol, diabetes, and all that. Because you reject knowledge. You rather eat this nonsense that the Lord told you not to eat, which is an abomination. Keep going, brother.
I will also reject thee.
Lord said, I also will reject you. Go ahead.
That thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
Oh, he said, also I will forget thy children. That's why hell has enlarged herself. Hell being a condition. That's what you in right now, brothers and sisters. So we looked at earth being a hell. We looked at our conditions being a hell. Now let's look at something else. Let's go to Psalm 16. What else is considered to be hell? Psalm 16. Psalm 16, and when you get it, Psalm 16 and verse 8. And when you get it, my brother, go ahead.
I have set the Lord always before me. Because he is at my right hand, I shall not be moved.
Go ahead.
Therefore my heart is glad, and my glory rejoiceth. My flesh also shall rest in hope.
Right, and this is Jesus, believe it or not, speaking through the mouth of David, talking about himself. Therefore my heart is glad, and my glory rejoice. My flesh also shall rest in hope. But verse 10.
For thou wilt not leave my soul in hell.
Oh, for thou wilt not leave my soul in hell. What is he talking about? He talking about the hell as in what people are imagining what's going on now? Nah, he's talking about his body. I mean, he's talking about the grave. No, his body. I'm sorry, his body being in hell, which is the grave. For thou shalt not leave my soul, which is the body. Because you go to Genesis and he said that when the Lord created, when he created Adam, he said what? He breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and he became what? A living soul. So the soul being the body, and it says in hell, meaning the grave. For thou shalt not leave my soul in hell. Go ahead.
Neither wilt thou suffer thine Holy One to see corruption.
Oh, let's back this up, though. Let's go to Acts 2. Let's see if this was David or was this Jesus talking. Acts chapter 2. Looking at this grave being hell. Acts chapter 2, and pick this up at verse 22. And when you get it, my brother, go ahead.
Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Jesus of Nazareth, a man approved of God, among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which God did by him in the midst of you, as ye yourselves also know.
Right, this is Peter talking now. Go ahead.
Him, being delivered by the determinate counsel and foreknowledge of God, ye have taken, and by wicked hands have crucified and slain.
Talking about what they did to Jesus. Go ahead.
Whom God hath raised up, having loosed the pains of death, because it was not possible that he should be holden of it.
Right, for 3 days and 3 nights he was in the grave. Not 2 days and one, however they got it screwed up from Friday. They got him going in the grave from Friday and getting up Sunday morning. That's not 3 days and 3 nights, brothers and sisters. But he was in the grave for 3 days and 3 nights. It says, from whom God had raised up, having loosed the pains of death, because it was not possible that he should be holden of it. Verse 25.
For David speaketh concerning him,
Oh, David speaking concerning him. Go ahead.
I foresaw the Lord always before my face. For he is on my right hand, that should not be moved.
Oh, that sounds like Psalm 16 and verse 8, which we was reading. Go ahead.
Therefore did my heart rejoice, and my tongue was glad. Moreover, also my flesh shall rest in hope.
Go ahead.
Because thou wilt not leave my soul in hell.
Oh, because thou will not leave my soul in what? In hell, which is the grave. We're going to back that up, though. Keep going.
Neither wilt thou suffer thine Holy One to see corruption.
That's right.
Thou hast made known to me the ways of life. Thou shalt make me full of joy with thy countenance.
Keep going.
Men and brethren, let me freely speak unto you of the patriarch David.
Oh, let me freely speak unto you of the patriarch David. Go ahead.
That he is both dead and buried.
That's right.
And his sepulchre is with us unto this day.
Go ahead.
Therefore, being a prophet, and knowing that God hath sworn with an oath to him, that of the fruit of his loins, according to the flesh, he would raise up Christ to sit on his throne.
Keep going.
He, seeing this before, spake of the resurrection of Christ, that his soul was not left in hell, neither his flesh did see corruption.
Right, but this is all talking about Jesus. David wasn't talking about himself. That's why it says, men and brethren, let me freely speak unto you of the patriarch David, that he is both dead and buried. He wasn't resurrected. Jesus was. Therefore, being a prophet and knowing that God has sworn with an oath to him, that of the fruit of his loins, according to the flesh, he will rise up Christ to sit on his throne. David's not sitting on his throne. David's in the dirt, waiting for the resurrection. He was talking about Jesus. He seeing this before spake of the resurrection of Christ, that his soul his soul was not left in hell, which is the grave, neither his flesh did corruption. Let's go to Psalms 30. Let's back that up, though, because I keep saying that this hell is talking about the grave, right? Psalms 30. Pick it up at verse 1 through 3. When you get it, my brother, go ahead.
I will extol thee, O Lord, for thou hast lifted me up, and hast not made my foes to rejoice over me.
That's right.
O my Lord, O Lord my God, I cried unto thee, and thou hast healed me.
That's right.
O Lord, thou hast brought up my soul from the grave.
Oh, that has did what?
Thou hast brought up my soul from the
it
grave.
Says, O Lord, thou hast brought up my soul from the grave. But we were reading hell. But now he's talking about grave, because that's what it was. That's exactly what it is. Hell is also considered the grave. Oh, that thou was brought up my soul from the grave. Go ahead, brother.
Thou hast kept me alive.
That's right.
That I should not go down to the pit.
That's not go down to the pit, brothers and sisters. Because if he would have stayed in there a little longer, then what would have happened to Jesus? He would have get corroded. 3 days and 3 nights. That's it. That's just like Lazarus. Lazarus was in the grave or hell for what? Well, if I'm not mistaken, was 4 days. But what happened when they started to pull? He started stinking because he was dead more than 3 days. But right here, we just looking at this hell, which is it's just simple, the grave, brothers and sisters. Let's go to our next scripture. Let's go to Daniel chapter 12. We done saw the earth being the type of hell. We done seen the lack of knowledge. You know, these conditions that surround us being hell. Getting up in the morning is hell. Like it's getting cold outside right now. You got to put on a jacket. If you ain't got no jacket, that's hell because you cold. We didn't witness at the grave being a hell. Now let's look at the ultimate hell. Let's go to Daniel chapter 12. Daniel 12, and pick this up at verse 1. When you get it, my brother, go ahead.
And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time.
Oh, and there's another type of hell, brothers and sisters, that I ain't really touch on, but we talking about the Great Tribulation. 3.5 years of pure hell. And if you ain't get to the place of safety, you getting caught up. But the great tribulation, pure hell, brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
That's right.
And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake.
Many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall wake. Go ahead.
Some to everlasting life.
Oh, some to everlasting life. You got the faith in Jesus and you keeping his statute, laws, and commandments. Some to the everlasting life. But what else?
And some to shame and everlasting contempt.
Oh, shame and everlasting contempt. That's the lake of fire right there, brothers and sisters. Let's go to John chapter 5. John 5. Lake of fire right there. John chapter 5. And pick it up at verse 28. 28, 29. When you get it, my brother, go ahead.
Marvel not at this. For the hour is coming, in which all that are in the grave shall hear his voice.
That's right. When he come, that's right. Go ahead.
And shall come forth. They that have done good unto the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation.
Oh, we serve a God under condition. You do right by him, he gonna do right by you. But if you don't do right by him, there's a place for you, brothers and sisters. That's why he said here, and shall come forth they that have done good unto the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil until the resurrection of damnation. No matter what it is, brothers, you're going to get up. It's just where you're going to end up at. Either you're going to be with him or you're going to be in this lake of fire. Let's go to our next scripture. Let's go to Isaiah 66. Because even during the 1,000 years of peace, brothers and sisters, you're going to have that lake of fire right there. You're going to be able to look down on that joker like, dang. They don't look happy. People think you just gonna be up there just burnt. Nah, this fire right here is eternal. Isaiah 66. And pick this up at 23 and 24. When you get it, my brother, go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord.
Talk about this during this 1,000 years of peace, brothers and sisters. Verse 24.
And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me.
Ooh, and at this time right here, you're going to have you're going to have the beast and the false prophet already down there. Looking bad. They shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that transgressed against me. Go ahead, brother.
For the worm shall not die.
It says, for the worm shall not die. So you ain't going to go down there and it's just going to be a big fire. It's just going to be poof. You just in ashes. Nah, this eternal fire. You're going to have a spiritual body, brothers and sisters. And it says here that for their worm, the worm is not even going to die. Go ahead, brother.
Neither shall their fire be quenched.
Not even the fire is going to be quenched. Go ahead.
And they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh.
But you're going to be able to just look down. You're like, dang, let me go up to see the Lord. Let's go to our last scripture. Let's go to Revelation chapter 20. So you got to pick a side, brothers and sisters, if you're going to serve God or you're going to serve Satan. Because you know that the result of you serving God according to his word is the resurrection of life. But if you over here trying to do what you want to do and you're serving Satan, serving yourself, hey, resurrection to damnation. Revelation 20, and pick this up at verse 6. And when you get it, my brother, go ahead.
Blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection.
Oh, blessed and holy is he that hath part in the first resurrection. That's what we all rooting for. Go ahead, brother.
On such the second death hath no power.
The second death don't have no power. This is talking about the lake of fire. You ain't got to worry about that. Keep going.
But they shall be priests of God and of Christ, and shall reign with him 1,000 years.
And that's what it's all about, reigning with the Lord for 1,000 years, brothers and sisters. Having this spiritual body. Keep going.
And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison,
Uh-huh.
and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth.
Right, he gonna give it the old college try. Go ahead, brother.
Gog and Magog,
Uh-huh.
to gather them together to battle.
That's right.
The number of whom is as the sand of the sea.
Uh-huh.
And they went up on the breadth of the earth, and compassed the camp of the saints about, in the beloved city.
And what's gonna happen to
And
him?
fire came down from God
Fire came down. Go ahead.
out of heaven and devoured them.
You remember what happened in the beginning? The Lord did it with water. This time he gonna do it with fire. Go ahead, brother.
And the devil that deceived them was cast into the lake of fire.
Oh, now the beast and the false prophet, now they got company. Because this is the major player right here. Satan, the serpent, the devil, Lucifer, whatever you want to call him. The father of all lies. It says, and the devil that deceived him was cast into the lake of fire. Go ahead.
And brimstone,
Go ahead.
where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever.
Tormented day and night, brothers and sisters, forever and ever. This is going to be an ongoing thing. Go ahead, brother.
And I saw a great white throne, and him that sat on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away.
Oh, this great white judgment. Go ahead.
And there was found no place for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were opened.
Don't matter where you at. He say, don't matter who you are, small or great. He said, stand before God, and the books were open. Go ahead.
And another book was
And another book was open. Go ahead.
which is the book of life.
And if your name is not in this book of life, you can just kiss the baby, blow out the candles. Go ahead.
And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works.
According to their works. And don't have nobody tell you that you ain't got to do no works. Faith without works is dead. Go ahead, brother.
And the sea gave up the dead which were in it.
Uh-huh.
And death and hell delivered up the dead.
And death and hell. Talking about this grave, everything was delivered up. No matter where you at. You died in the sea, whatever's you coming up wherever you at. Ashes, the Lord gonna gather you up. Go ahead, brother.
Which were in them. And they were judged every man according to their works.
Still talking about these works. Go ahead.
And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire.
Everything. Death and hell was cast into the lake of fire, brothers. This is the ultimate one right here. Go ahead.
This is the second
The
death.
second death. This is what you want to avoid, brothers and sisters. This second death. Go ahead.
And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire.
Was cast into the lake of fire. So the title of the class, Different Levels of Hell. I hope somebody got some understanding in Jesus' name.